Greetings, dear listeners. We are once again together with my friends to bring you a brand new episode of Inconclusion. With me, I have my friends Izel. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I've been doing some stuff these days, I guess.
Stuff doing is great. Elif, how about you? Are you doing stuff?
I've been doing stuff and I am in Turkey still. Yay.
Ding, you did a cooking joke. It's funny.
What?
She said ding. You know how turkey is in the oven and then it goes ding in the movies because we don't have those things in Turkey. In Turkey, like cool people, we look at the turkey to decide if it's cooked or not. Also, I have this kitchen thermometer. I poke at food.
Okay, upper class.
Binali, how about you? Do you poke at food?
No, I am not poking at food. I am perfect. It is the best week of the year. It's the revision week. So
Next week is the anyway.
yeah, but the week it already started for me. I do not care. It's next
General
week.
Eurovision area, yeah.
Yeah. So it is the best week of the year, and I'm really excited. And I immediately dated when we recorded this episode. So you're welcome, listeners. And that's about it. How are you doing, Janice?
Oh, it's a great day today. I have a lot of sunlight, bright day. Actually, recently weather has been kinda crazy, cold and hot, and it makes me sick. I mean, not it makes me sick in the sense that I don't like it. It makes me sick in the sense that I am coughing every now and then.
As the poet once said, come on, get down with the sickness.
Indeed, indeed. And finally, Enes, what are you getting down with?
Oh, yes. Yeah. It was a nice week for me. I hosted my father last week as there was a half marathon in Istanbul. So he came to visit me and run. So it was a nice week for me. But he was a little bit sick, so we couldn't go around the city and see and do stuff. But we mostly sat down at home. So it was a nice. We did some tasks that we were trying to like. Do you have some stuff that you need to do?
Oh yes, indeed. We already know Izel that did some stuff this week.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were stuff that we were thinking about doing, but we were waiting to do together. So one of the stuff was like shopping. I'm the first one at home, at my small little family, that I'm the first one to do online shopping at my home. That's why they always trust me on this stuff. So he was wanting to buy a what is that called? Trail vest or trail bag kind of thing. That he want to buy, but there is no one in stock on the markets or in any other shop. So he was thinking about buying it online, but there is no online shop that sells in the cheap. They're not cheap. So he was thinking about buying a cheap one that is not very quality. He want to buy a low quality one, and that's because he was going to use it one time or two times. So he were looking some Chinese website. He discovered that, and I'm proud of him in this sense. So he was sending me online links of that shop, and I was postponing until the time I can look at on the desktop, because like shopping on mobile phone is so I can't do that. I can't even see other things on, like, I can't see the alternatives. That's what happens. So when he came, we were able to compare things. I even used my second screen to compare all of the items online, and we didn't buy it from China. We bought it from Germany. So
Nice.
it was okay.
Okay. Slightly racist.
Yeah, it was slightly racist.
I mean, but companies aren't people, so it isn't racist when you do it to a company, I think.
But what if it's a state company?
Then it's not capitalism anyway, so I don't care.
Oh no.
So, but I agree with Enes. I agree that while shopping, it is difficult. I mean, I personally find it difficult because I'm an old person, turntables. But
Disclaimer. On this episode, we are all old people.
I mean, yes, but
I am very spry.
me specifically find phone shopping to be difficult. In fact, I usually make Isel do it for me whenever I need to do it.
Yeah.
But like even on Amazon, you can't even make some installment on mobile phone. Maybe I am the old one and I can't find it. But whenever I buy something on Amazon on mobile, I can't do installments. I can only do it on a desktop. It's also hidden there, like in a small checkbox that you can't really see it in the first time. But still, you can't do it on mobile.
Elif, you're a UX employed person.
I am.
Can you go into a bit of detail on why NS can't do it on mobile?
I mean, you said it before too. The dimensions and the size is definitely harder. And the other thing is, I think our eyes is more used to reading from, like, of course, depending on the language, but like from left to right. And this creates like a really hard element in the more narrowed spaces because it has to be like more by default a scroll down element integrated into the phones, and then like it's really hard to, like Ines said, compare and contrast the information that you have to kind of look into one information at a time, and that can be really hard when you try to look for the cheapest flight or when you try to look for a specific item and compare with the other ones. So I think that could be one of the reasons. I don't know if any of you agree or disagree, but
I mean, I personally, well, there are three reasons. One is I find cell phone to be somewhat more flimsy. This is not a very, I mean, this isn't a realistic feeling. But I always feel like whenever I'm doing something on the mobile phone, the internet can go down. I can press a wrong button, something bad can happen, and I can end up in a terrible place, and I won't have a good recourse from that terrible place. Like in computer, everything feels so settled. Everything feels so like rigid. How can I explain this? Like I feel like computer screen is a straight table, flat table, and telephone is this playground, muddy, hilly, weird landscape, and you can do something wrong at any minute.
Yep.
Like it is even so when I'm not trying to shop. Whenever I'm doing something with my phone, I am always scared that I'm gonna press a wrong button and it's gonna charge me something.
Exactly. And it's the same with like texting too.
I wanna ask Janice, do you have any tasks that are phone specific for you?
I only use Instagram on phone, so
Because
that's.
they don't let it.
In fact, in my computer, Instagram isn't logged in. Technically, I take pictures with my phone, but I don't think that's what you are asking. And of course, in a meta situation, I am recording this podcast on my phone. Yeah.
Aha. But it's not an active task that you're doing. It's like a voice recorder that you put it.
I mean, yeah,
that you don't really use it. Like you don't really interact with it.
I am gonna take one more step and I'm gonna say I don't use phone exclusively. In fact, in general, I try not to use phone for any task that connects to the outside world. So what I'm saying is when I'm on Instagram, I am only on Instagram. But when you buy something, it pops up in your door. There
Mhm.
are few examples of that. I buy water from phone. Oh yeah, I have something else. I use banks on phone because bank
Not
applications are very
yeah.
convenient on the phone and they are very inconvenient on the computer.
You can't even use it on desktop solely because they need confirmation from your phone. That's how they build the security system like that. Also in Instagram, that want you to exclusively use it on mobile. They don't let you. They somehow let you, but you can post some stuff. You weren't able to see some stories online, like a few years ago or 1 year ago. You can't even see stories online on
Yep.
mobile
Yep.
desktop. They currently let you to see. So the chat DMs weren't available on desktop, kind of things, and still they want you to use mobile phone to you. I think it's one of the hooking mechanism that they use because on desktop you can't really get this really focused in. Maybe I.
Yeah, yeah. I find myself watching reels, like I would on my phone, on my computer also. Like, and it works the same.
Yeah, I think like with the YouTube too, like when you just enter YouTube on your desktop, it's unfortunately dark. It goes to short sometimes. I don't know when exactly, but I can find myself scrolling down also on the desktop. I think it kind of links to the, maybe for me at least, I use trackpad as well. I use mouse, for example, when I'm doing more serious stuff. But when I'm just casually using things like, so there's also that element too. Like if I'm doing an important shop that costs more than $100 for me, then I have to have a mouse. I have to
Mhm.
have a desktop. But if I'm just on YouTube scrolling down and up, then I don't even use the mouse. I just use a trackpad. So yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any like tools that help you with using laptop?
I use the arrows to scroll reels or shorts.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's convenient.
nice.
Izel is a
I,
cyborg, basically half machine. Binali, what about you? You have been awfully silent in this discussion. What do you do on your phone in secret when nobody is watching?
I do almost nothing on my phone. My phone is always like at best a supportive accessory for me to the tasks I'm doing on my computer if we're like talking about what to do with technology because one I mean I think everyone except me on this call is an iPhone user. Am I
Nope.
correct on that?
Mm,
Oh wait,
No.
mm,
if
No, I use Android.
Elif was an ex-iPhone user.
so the thing is, my mobile phone purchase history is this. I get the cheapest option of
Yes,
Android phones
exactly.
and I use it to death. And when it dies, I move on to the next cheapest option of Android phones. So since my life is already like since I am not committed to doing things on the phone, this is easy to do for me because yes, my phone is not very wieldy to use
Mm-hmm.
like actual tasks on my mobile phone, but I do not prefer that to start with, so it's not a problem for me. Like yes, my phone does crash after the fourth Chrome tab, but I'm not going to open Chrome tabs on my phone, so that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Mm.
I think it's like surprising to me that how many people like actually able to do like so much of their screen time on the phone because like that's like John said, like that screen is not easy to use for me most of the time because like I'm gonna be terrified of like oh I'm gonna do the wrong thing. I'm gonna lose the progress on something I did because like in terms of payments, when you make a payment on the desktop browser, it's like okay like I don't expect my Firefox to refresh itself out of nowhere. during a payment, right? I
Because
accept
you
even
accidentally slipped a finger to the left for
not
too
even
much.
a
Yeah.
finger, not even a like finger, not
That's
even a
iPhone
user
thing, John
fault.
Dennis.
Sometimes like you get a notification and it automatically pops up and it distracts you. Something happens, it switches screens, and now you go back to the browser on the mobile, and it auto refreshes, and you don't know if the
Yeah.
thing went through, if it didn't went through. And that's just not a problem possible on the desktop. So that's why I'm like, why would I ever try to do that on a mobile device? Especially like even in unimportant part, but especially for important tasks like that. I mean, like I use mobile so little. Even like 90% of mobile apps I have the desktop copy on it, so I can use it actually on the computer if possible, like most messaging apps, etc. So that's kind of my view on it. I know this is like not the general consensus from what I've seen of people's experiences, because a lot of people are incredibly tied to their phones in terms of not only entertainment tasks but like work tasks as
They
well, which is, I mean, good for them. It's just unfathomable for me.
I mean, this is a bit of a tangent, but I think there's a problem with that observation that most people are attached to their phones. Because, I mean, maybe some very small percentage of people are actually attached to their phones, but usually when you see a person, you see that person in outside doing outside things like sitting around or I don't know, running, jumping, stuff like that. But people are boring and the outside world is boring. So when you see a person in a social environment, they are bored and they are on their phone. You don't know if they do that at home. Maybe at home they are doing more fun things.
No. I don't mean that in a boomer. People are too much on their phones in a kind of way. I mean in a professional setting. Like while I was in uni, or while like we were working on a project, or while I'm like trying
Yeah.
to work in a job, a lot of people do like what I see as like I have to do this on a desktop, like uh, translating something or like writing a long document. A lot of people do these things exclusively on mobile.
Oh yeah, that's weird to me as well. I find writing on a mobile phone tedious.
I had people in my class that took notes on their phones.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
But like
What's
They-
that, baby?
when they do it, so at least from my friends, they had like a really small portable keypad that they can actually connect to their phones via Bluetooth. So they would use like a phone almost as a screen. Yeah.
No, no, that I understand. That's like owning a small laptop. What I'm brother ing is using the touch screen to write a class note. Like it feels so weird to me. Because whenever I write things, I always make these large. I mean, they aren't large; they are regular letter sized typos, and I go back correcting them, and this takes time to like back at the day. I used to have a phone that used swipe. Those were the days. Those were the good times for me. I really liked swipe, but that's beside the point. It's crazy to me to take class notes using phone.
I think like we need to go back to the back in the day when Blackberries had actual clickable buttons of keyboards and you were writing emails through them. Like that.
That was really for work.
That doesn't count because BlackBerry buttons have distinct bumps.
Mm.
You know what you are pressing in a BlackBerry. Not so on a touch screen.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should go back to having physical buttons again if you want to really do a lot of things on.
There were some attachment on iPhones. Have you seen those cases that it's kind of extends the phone?
Cases, right? Yeah.
Maybe it also adds some battery time as well. Hope so.
Better what?
Battery. I mean,
Battery life.
battery life. I
Ah.
said, but
A better.
So,
I okay. So
If also add some better
hmm,
life, it will be an addition.
mhm. So Izel, I am turning the question to you. What do you do on phone exclusively and why?
yeah. Uh, I
People living in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, Izel.
well, I wondered because you are so into your bigger screen. Like, I wondered if there was anything you would do on your phone. But for me, um, there are so little things that I prefer to do on my phone because my phone is always running low on battery. It has a small screen and it's slow.
Mhm.
But like maybe uh, I used to only listen to podcasts on my phone because I wanted to keep that experience to on experience as a on the go experience. But nowadays, my phone doesn't have any storage space left, so I can't even do that on my phone anymore.
Hopefully, in spite of Trendyol's
Oh,
difficulties that they have thrown at us, I am gonna trash talk Trendyol on every convenient opportunity. Um,
please do.
we are gonna be able to fix that soon, in spite of the difficulties Trendyol is throwing at us. But I I mean, obviously, the battery running out is a problem. Most people don't like that.
Mhm.
But you aren't in your life a two-sided person, one side a screen, one side the phone, and one side the computer. You also own a tablet.
Yeah, I do.
So the same question: anything exclusive to your tablet which has a bigger screen and longer battery life?
I was thinking about that to prepare for this podcast, but my tablet is. I think it's a different thing entirely because I also have a pencil to use with it,
Mhm.
Like a
which makes
notepad.
it yeah, which makes it a different thing. Like I was thinking, I have tablet papers and bigger computer screen papers. Like sometimes I like to note down by writing with pencil on my tablet while reading my papers. But sometimes I'm more into the bigger screen. I wanna select the passage and type my notes. It's just a vibe. Everything's a vibe.
Huh.
But can
So
you
just
split
like what?
screens like easily on a tablet? Like how do you do the reading
Yeah,
and
I
writing
can.
at the same time? Does the space is
But
enough for you?
Uh, yeah, but I I can actually do that too. But uh, I'm just um putting in comments on Acrobat. I'm not
hmm.
taking my notes to anywhere else. I I put my notes on Acrobat, then look at all my notes and transfer them to someplace else.
You know, as the time went on, like when a technology is introduced, you never know to what extent it will be relevant in your life. And to, I think, everybody's astonishment, or to most people's at least, for the people around me, tablets turned out to be useless, didn't they? Like there
No,
isn't there isn't any reason to use a tablet. You can either use a phone, which is effectively like Apple recently
No,
made it so
I
that tablet is just a big phone
I
without
don't think so.
conversations, or you
I
can use a
think
computer. Like
I
tablet is.
disagree.
maybe you are saying it because you're not an artist, or at least using it for visual creative purposes. But
I
I
was
I
gonna
think
mean,
say
with
I most
uh,
definitely don't use a tablet for visual creative purposes, Enes. But please elaborate.
so if you were like, I don't have one, I don't have an iPad or stuff, but I have a drawing tablet that I use.
That's okay. Not everybody has to be an artist, Enes.
Yeah, but for that, I think it's very useful. But even for some, if you're in university and you're taking notes, I think it's also a nice addition to your uh, what is mm,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yes.
setup. So
having it be a nice addition to and it being necessary are two different things, because I am a graduate of a master's program in this, and I have never used a tablet to get there.
Well, I think tablets are different than laptops or phones in the note taking context, because well, while I don't know how to tell it, but some classes I would take my laptop to class and type my notes, but some classes I would take my tablet and write my notes. Like,
Drawing could be a factor. If you need to constantly draw shapes, it is difficult to do that in a computer.
no, like when I'm
Passionate entry.
well, I take when I take my notes on computer, I also draw things. Like I don't like to open a Word document and write. I open the
That's my
PDF
favorite thing.
slides PDFs provided by the instructor, and I would draw on those or write on those. And if they are not providing any, I would open OneNote, and it provides so much flexibility. But like that's not the point.
I wholeheartedly agree. Nobody wants to open a Word document. Word document is the thing you do when you run out of options. It's the last resort.
No, I disagree. I mean, could you count Google Doc as Word document?
More like Microsoft Word, am I right?
I don't agree with you, but it was funny.
Yeah, I actually like Word more than I like Google Docs right now.
Google Sheets is superior, by the way.
When I realized there was autosave on cloud documents on Word, like Word's nice.
What's wrong with pen and paper?
What's wrong with Notepad?
Yep, no.
Notepad as an app?
Word is specifically for writing papers that will be submitted.
LaTeX is specifically for writing papers that will be submitted. Word is for people who can't use LaTeX for that.
LaTeX is overkill. I'm even more close to my computer. I shouldn't do that.
I think we are trailing off. I think this is a bit of a tangent.
So, you know what? This trailing off is perfect for the point I'm about to make.
No.
Listen to me. Back at the 10 minutes ago, I tried to say this. I think it is easier to get distracted on computer than on mobile phone, because mobile phone can do like one thing. So it is difficult to get distracted. But I mean, phones are very distracting, but once you are in the phone, the thing you are doing is harder to get distracted from. But in computer, it is very easy to open the next tab.
I disagree.
And look at SMBC.
I think you are okay. I think you are biased in terms of, because never, right?
Stupid.
I think you're biased because you don't do like a lot of you don't have tasks you do exclusively on phone, and you don't do a lot of tasks on the phone. So it's easier for you to be like, yeah, I won't get distracted on the phone, because you already spent a lot of your time on the computer itself. So it is easier for you to get distracted on the computer. I would wager that if someone was doing like majority of their tasks on a phone, I would say or a lot of their screen time on the phone, I would say probably for them it's easier to get distracted on the phone, because they see the phone of all source of all these things, while maybe they are looking to computer as like the thing I do this on and nothing else. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
I mean, I am gonna slightly alter your points in order you to become right. I think maybe I only do fun things at phone. I don't do any like work on phone.
Mm.
So when I'm on the phone, I don't need to be distracted from the boring thing I'm doing.
Procrastinated on watching Instagram reels because
Yeah,
I
that
got
doesn't happen.
distracted.
That doesn't happen. So you may be onto that. I'm gonna concede that point to you. Like because like if I was I don't know, doing data entry on phone, maybe I would have a horrible life. But if that was the case, I would probably be eager to get distracted.
I feel like phones are even more distracting, like on a theoretical level. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone who like uses their phone more can correct me.
Why are we talking about this? We are the least phone users in this group.
To me, like on a theoretical level, the way I think is because the phones, like in computer, it works like separate windows, right? Like you either open a tab or a window, but it says like at will you can go to the other one. Like they can simultaneously be open in front of you. But on the phone, everything you do is almost everything you do is on an app, and they're on different tabs. So if you get distracted,
No.
okay,
Not
so
really.
I will finish my sentence and pass it on to you.
Do so quickly, she will murder you.
They're on different apps. So if you're doing something on like your Notes app and you get a notification from another app and you go into it, like if you got distracted by that, good luck getting back because now you're on whole another app.
Yeah, but like I have taken measures against that so that wouldn't happen. Like I don't allow overhead notifications. Like notifications only go to notification center. They have no business coming
Your
from
argument isn't defending your point like you think it would.
Yeah.
The fact that you need to take precautions means Binali is right.
But you cannot circumvent the fact that on a phone, if you get distracted, like if you switch, you have to switch to an entirely different app, which means it is harder to get back.
I'm saying since I don't have storage on my phone, I have to do everything on my browser. Unlike Enes, who prefers to use the browser for everything but not the app. I think it's the bigger problem I have with distraction on my phone. I find my fingers opening up random apps. Like the other day, I opened Trendyol siparişlerim page by
Which is a horrible app and a horrible site and a horrible company.
yeah, like I was like, why am I here? That's a bigger problem than notifications.
I mean, why am I here is an appropriate response to opening Trendyol. But
yeah, which reminds me, I can now uninstall it.
yeah, we are very unsatisfied customers about Trendyol.
Just
I warned one of the telephone operators that I am gonna use every platform I ever come across for the next few months, trash talking your company. So they have it.
I just love the performative act of pettiness you do by deleting Trendyol, knowing all well once we finish this like recording, you're gonna go and buy a new phone, making it.
We won't buy from Trendyol.
No, like,
we won't.
No, I know. No, I know. What I'm saying is,
what you are missing is when you get a new phone, it just transfers everything to the new one.
No, it doesn't. I get the cheapest one. It doesn't transfer shit.
There, Binali, you are missing out. There are even apps for Android to do this easily. Like, you are missing out.
I don't need that.
But I don't think that Binali has something to transfer
I don't think
Binali has anything.
This isn't an ad for newer phones.
You don't understand how little I want to use my phone. I want to use my phone so little. I have an emulation on my phone on my computer because I would rather do if I am forced onto a phone task, I would rather do that on my computer on an emulation than do it on my actual physical phone.
That's a little bit extreme.
I feel like you would really benefit from.
Enough advertising.
Okay.
Bebek. Enes.
Okay.
What about me?
Izel said you do something. I don't remember the thing. I'm sorry.
Using browsers instead of the app.
Yes, I do that. And it's so nice. But what I'm using it for? Let me see. I don't really like. For many things, I use my browser.
And for clarity, what you are saying is instead of using the app version of a website, use the browser version, even though you are on the phone. Correct?
Yes. Also, that's one of the strategy I use to reduce my activity on my phone as well. Like if I don't like an app, if I'm using some time, spending the time I don't want on an app, I definitely upload that app and use it on Safari or browser. For example, Instagram. I don't. If I spend much time, I just upload that app. But what else I use it for?
Are you saying upload instead of delete, Enes?
Offload. Yeah.
Offload.
Offloading
Okay.
an app. Because I'm an iPhone user, I use offload.
That's an interesting behavior. You are making it less convenient for yourself in order to spend less time.
For example, Twitter, I use it on Safari because I don't like the app. Also, the app takes like 1 gigabyte of space, even though I don't even use it.
It does? Huh, that's a lot of gigabytes.
That's pointless. I'm like
no company
I don't have
that starts with T is safe from us.
Like my phone is not very the last model. Like it's not up to date, but it's not very bad at the same time because maybe it's because of the way I use it. But so I don't have so much space on my phone. It's just 64 gigabytes of space, and I need to be careful. And it's almost 60 gigabytes is full. With what? I don't even know. Even though I don't use that much of apps.
Okay.
I'm not happy with this.
That's
so like
I'm
there
sorry
are
to
so
hear
much
that.
what I use excessively on my phone is banking, maps. I really like maps.
I like. I mean, not exclusively, but phone maps are nice.
Yeah, I mean, I really like to use on desktop as well, but I use like there were at least 2 or 3 different maps like Google, Yandex, Apple's own maps, also the cities maps, and some navigation apps before. I really like maps.
Maps are liked by me as well.
But like, what is the thing that I use? My browser. Oh, there are so many tabs that I want to look at. I use my browser as a notepad that I just open the tabs that I want to research about it at some point, and they are still there.
Maybe the reason why we aren't listened very often is not because of the things we say necessarily, but because we are weird people. Like, I use browser for note taking is a weird sentence to hear.
I want to add to that. I don't have the notes app on my phone because it takes too much space. So I don't take notes like ever. Today I opened my notes app, and my latest note is from 2023, and I have 3 notes from 2023.
Amazing.
I mean, there is a very good alternative to taking notes. It is texting your friend the content of your note. Or I actually have a conversation with only myself that I used to take notes
Even
to.
WhatsApp made it like a feature of it, sending a
Yeah,
note
but
to yourself. I mean,
we
sending a
used to do
message
it
to
much
yourself.
before. We used to do it much before. We used to create groups with two of our
Yeah,
friends and then kick our friends and then use that group for self-texting.
we all had one. But it's also used for like if you don't have like an Apple environment for yourself, like it was for me when I was at my work PC. So I need to send some stuff directly in an easy way. So I was using like for example photos or some text that I want to copy it from my phone. I was just using WhatsApp in a group chat for to myself. Yeah, that happened.
So, talking about WhatsApp, Binali, I have realized you said this thing on two different occasions, and it's similar for me. Even though most talking applications are phone-based, you and I, we use the computer versions of it, like the desktop versions of
Yes.
it. So why do we do that? Why are we weird like this? What's wrong with us?
Because it's so much harder to type on mobile. Well, I mean, especially I talk a lot. You may have noticed in
Verbose is the word you are looking for.
in the past 41 episodes. So that does not change on text, and uh, I think it's also like, especially in a conversational setting, if I am texting from a phone, I feel like I'm lagging behind of the conversation. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, because a lot of people are talking at the same time, and I can't keep up with that on a mobile keyboard. While if I'm on a like actual keyboard on an actual computer, I feel like I can keep up with the conversation. I can tell what I want to tell the way I want to tell it, instead of like rushing it out. So like it is sad on time. So that's why I like prefer like a lot of these like social apps like Telegram, WhatsApp, like Discord, all of these on my desktop rather than on my phone.
And I wholeheartedly agree because, like Izel would know, my UI scale of talking apps on my computer are very, very small. Like I try to maximize the amount of text that can fit onto my screen and I can still read, so that I have access to all the information while crafting my reply. And also, like, I am usually a very down to earth person, Binali, but I'm gonna say something snobby.
Yes.
I use eccentric words, uncommon words when I'm talking, and I use
Yes.
uncommon words when I'm typing as well. This creates a problem because the uncommoner the word you use gets, the more difficult it becomes for phone to suggest you that word, and the more you have to write. And obviously, because not necessarily because they are uncommon, but they are usually long words, so a lot of mistakes happen. You need to go back. It's a nightmare. I really hate typing on the phone. I usually, when I'm in when an argument starts brewing, I say, "Wait, I will respond on computer," and I go to the computer and then craft
Yes.
a longer, appropriate
Yes.
length, a reply with an appropriate length. So, what about other people? Izal, Elif, and Enes?
I have to say one thing. For the chats I'm in with Binali and Candenis, I usually wait for them to finish their conversation, and I go go on my computer and read it from the top, and I just add my notes by replying to individuals.
You literally
She
killed
does. It's
God.
amazing.
because I can't keep up with them.
Yeah, energetic idea exchangers. Binali and What about Elif and Enes? What type of typing are you indulging in?
I'm just remembering my high school times. That like, do you have the time that when you just come to home from school and try to chat with your friends, but you were also using MSN Messenger? at the time. That's a desktop
Oh.
experience. You will get also after, like in high school, we were using Facebook for this because WhatsApp was not there for us until some time. But we had a Facebook group. We were using we were
Do you
sending some
remember
posts.
Viber?
We were
I remember something.
Vibe. Yeah, we were using those as well. But no, WhatsApp was the only thing that we used on mobile.
Viber was the best. I feel
Yeah,
so
I mean,
bad about
it was
it.
a phase. It was just a phase that
You are
it,
just
it
a
was.
face.
Can I just cut in and say something?
Yes.
Yes.
This reminded me back when phones were not smart, but like they were getting smarter. Um, you had to use the computer to use MSN Messenger, but I found an app on my phone, my non-smart number buttons kind of phone
Oof.
that would open MSN Messenger on my phone. Like that was the best time. I had MSN. I had Facebook messages on there too. Like I'm such a I used to be such a phone person before.
Yeah. Whereas right now you are nothing like that at all.
But like for like
I might
but
I might become that once I'm able to install Beeper on my phone.
Oh yeah,
but still like
because of Trendyol, you are unable to do that with the phone because Trendyol did not give you your new phone. Yeah.
but for
Mhm.
like you
Enes.
were using like in high school you were using Facebook for like you were also creating some humor around some things. You were sending some memes or like you were using to post some stuff about schoolwork, homeworks and stuff, projects you were doing, some of the announcements you were using it. But for the one-on-one chats, casual chats, you need to lay down to your bed, put your feet to the wall, up in the wall, and lay in the bed and use your alphanumerical you keyboard to chat with your friend. You need to do that.
Oh no, I
Yes,
missed
yes,
the
yes.
K again. I need
Yes.
to loop back.
But now like I can't do this with anyone now, right now. Anyone, I can't do that. I rather talk with them, but I won't chat
Mm.
on phone
I
that
wanna
much.
also add something. Having a computer you can access anytime you want also changes things because when we were back at the time we were using our phones like that. I think computer time was limited because there was only family computer and it was people would be around you when you use the
It was
computer. I don't
energy
know if it's
consuming.
the same.
Like it was using so much energy at some point. Like you need to reduce the time you were spending it. Even the room was getting heated up when I was
Yeah.
using
Yes.
computer.
Oof.
That's not my
Yes.
experience, but
It
I
was
mean,
not nice on summer days.
summer
Mhm.
days are never
Yeah.
nice.
It
Like
was
global.
noisy. It
Oh,
was noisy with the
play
fan.
Yeah, noise is real. Noise is real.
playing Sims on summer. Like I remember the sweat dripping.
But hear me out. Back at our high school, back at Mr. Binali and my high school, something happened that really changed the way we use social media on our phones. It was called zero.facebook.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
what it was
Yeah.
back at the
Yeah.
day when internet was sold on megabytes, it was a Facebook that you can enter freely and poke your friends with. It was
It was such a gateway drug to buying mobile data plans.
that's when internet peaked. I think 0 Point Facebook is when mobile phone internet access peaked, and ever since then, mobile phone experience is getting worse.
Fun toys. By the way, we talking about Facebook. Facebook is not a mobile phone app. It shouldn't. It should not be. It's a
Yeah,
desktop thing. It's a browser thing. It should stay that way.
Facebook shouldn't be entered by people.
Only boomers use Facebook on mobile phones. Sorry.
Only boomers use Facebook.
We should have left it at zero dot Facebook. Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
should have
like
left
I
it
said,
there.
that was the peak. That
Uh huh. Yeah.
everything went worse from there.
Well, thinking of tasks we mentioned that we do on computer and the um, bigger screen, I was trying to find actually probably a Reddit page where people were discussing which tasks they prefer to do on computer or the phone. But I found an study on Norman Nielsen Group. Do you say the ant? I don't know, but like it's a they are like pretty big names in UX world, and in that site
Ergonomics.
there was a study. I closed the tab, unfortunately, which will be linking, so I can't give proper
Citation.
citations. But like they looked into um, what kind of tasks people usually go for when they choose a phone or the laptop. Like they have found that um, uh, the importance of the task may be um, a reason to
Relevant.
choose which. Yeah, it may be relevant, or uh, they are also um, they are also suspecting age is also mm, a factor, but since they only did this study with people over 18, they don't have any results in this. But I think it's a really fun study. I think you should check out too. There are also other factors, but like yeah,
I mean, long
um,
story short,
if I were to tell all of it here, you cannot. Yeah, you should read it. It's a fun read.
Israel doesn't want to rob people the joy of learning from reading a
Yes.
science article.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, that actually makes perfect sense because, as I said, Binali and I are the oldest people and we use our phones the least. Enes is middle old and he uses phone but not apps. And Elif and you, Isel, are the youngest and you use your phones a lot. And obviously, Elif has this $100 cutoff line that denotes the significance of the operation they are doing on their phone.
yeah, like long story short, we're not iPad kids, unfortunately, and we still. I feel like we're lacking a little bit of that.
Yes, we are.
Um, what's the word like? Yeah, yeah.
Representation.
Perspective.
Can I just cutting and say this like we are not iPad kids. We were zero dot Facebook kids.
Oh yeah,
If you liked this episode, you can find more on. I think I'm just ripping off at other shows ending sequence right now, so I'm gonna try it
and
again.
whereas all the other shows endings are very original. Please continue.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Like,
Do you want me to pick up a guitar and sing?
no.
I won't.
Just
I can't.
thanks for listening to In Conclusion. We have other episodes which will be soon uploading to YouTube. And you can also find us on other social media sites, which will be linked in the description on the app you are using to listen to this podcast. In conclusion, where the